Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. If you've not been here before, I'm Leanne and this is my weight loss journey, and I am filming honestly each stage of my journey and what's going on and just life in general, and that is where I'm at. So it is Monday and I am ready for work. I'm trying to wear a bit of colour. I've got a Zara top on that I bought from the charity shop. This cost me £1.50. It's got like flowers on and little cockatiels and like blue and white print. It's quite silky and it's got like floaty arms, so it covers the top of my arms. It's very colourful. I've described that particularly for Jane Day because she's blind, and I am genuinely trying to be more conscious, but that is my top of the day, and I've got that on with a pair of jeans. The lighting in this room keeps changing, so I do apologise. It's quite annoying, but as ever, I'm not that aesthetically pleasing, and I've just filmed this just because I like filming each stage of my journey. So I do apologise. I've got like loads of shadows all over my face. Maybe if I sit back a bit. Oh, that's much better actually. If I stay back, I'm out of the line of the window. So this weekend has been quite eventful, I'm not going to lie. After getting on the scales on Thursday and putting a pound and a half on following my 2-week break for Morocco and decorating, I'm trying to consciously be more consistent and more mindful. So there's a couple of things that have like triggered me and things that have happened to me, things that I'm doing that are changing. I'm trying to reflect on my behaviours and the excuses that I make not to be on plan. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I've done a bit of writing in my diary that if you follow me along that you know that I do, and had a serious think about it. So this weekend we got invited to a garden party. It was one of my friends who got married last year. It was their 1 year anniversary. The sun was out and she was like, right, on Saturday at 2 o'clock, we're having like this do. So my life's been a bit manic. If I'm not gonna lie, I could have done without it. The social anxiety is like kicked in again. Social anxiety is about socializing just because I always feel the ugliest and fattest in a room, and I think that's like kind of built up a little bit, but I thought, right, I'm going because I'm not letting that get to me. A little bit of like worry and thought went into the fact that I wanted to stay on plan because I'm trying to be more consistent, especially after being so lucky on Thursday and only putting a pound and a half on. And then a little bit of social anxiety regarding going, like, because there was alcohol involved. And if you've followed me along, I don't know, Oliver turns into a little bit of a knobhead when he's been drinking. And I'm trying not to let emotions overcome me and me get ruled by other people's actions, if that makes sense. God, that makes me sound like a complete control freak, but like looking back, there's a lot of triggers where that's concerned. Not so much triggers regarding food, but more triggers emotion wise, and then that makes this journey really hard work. So to start off with, like we ran around all day Saturday morning. Like Friday was fine. I was working and keeping busy. I was completely on plan. I'm not being like really restrictive with myself. I'm just eating really well on what I fancy, but just being really moderate about it. And I'm keeping within my sins, my healthy extras. I'm really pushing like speed food. Did absolutely fine. And then on Saturday, we ended up running around, like I had vintage parcels to post out. I'd got quite a few. I'd got something to pick up. We popped into a few charity shops because I've been looking for baskets for like storage in the bedroom that I've been decorating. And then I needed a shower and to wash my hair and get ready and do the shopping to go to the party because we had to take nibbles. I ended up taking just buns and tortilla chips, but I didn't actually eat any. I did that out of like obligation to take them, if that makes sense. So that was all fine. I wore a pair of Levi's mom jeans. Well, they were like skinny jeans, but they were high waisted actually. I don't think the mom jeans, and a black like bodysuit. Um, didn't get really dressed up, but were like smart casual. I was drinking, so on Saturday I saved my sins for alcohol. Not that I massively measured them, but I was a lot more mindful about what I consumed and what I had for dinner and things like that. So in terms of the party, Oliver was okay up until it like loads better up until a certain point. We went and arrived at 4 o'clock. There was a live guy playing, had a really nice time. I totally let my hair down and didn't concentrate on Oliver at all, left him to his own devices. And that actually made me feel a lot better. We did have a chat before I went about how I feel and how his actions impact on me. And then I just left him to it and just thought, well, I'm going to have to kind of just deal with what his choices are and how they make me feel and the impact that has on our relationship. Luckily, he wasn't bad. But then at about 9:30, he sent to go from like tipsy to really, really, really drunk. And we came home. But in all fairness, I was ready and that was fine. In terms of like being there, I felt really like ugly and really self-conscious, really fat and really not very nice. And then the day after, some photos were put up that had been taken of me, and yeah, I look awful. Like, I look awful, which sounds like I'm being just really negative, but it is quite, given the fact that I've just put on 1.5 pounds and that I've been like, I've had 2 weeks at playing it, it's massively refocused me because like this isn't all just about how I look, but it is important how I feel. And the fact that being this size and wearing what I am is making me feel that way, it's important to me that for my health and for the way I feel like mentally, that I do address this and I do be more consistent and start making headway, if that makes sense. My debt is kind of like paid off. I owe 1.5 pounds, like I'm 1.5 pounds heavier than my lightest. And I'm hoping that I pay that back this week and then that I can start making a bit more progress towards actually changing the way that I feel and the way that I am. If I remember to, I would put the photo up, but the full body photo that it was taken me, like the middle area is just so fat and bulgy and swollen, and I just look odd and just not very nice. Like I felt horrible, and this isn't me like judging other people, but it was like I'm the fattest person in the room, I'm the most unattractive, and then thoughts came into my head. I did shove them aside because that's what I'm used to doing, and I had a lovely time with people and just got on with it. But I am a little bit bored of feeling like that, and that is something. Sorry, I'm trying to sit back so the shadow and sunbeams don't like go across my face. That is something that I really, really do need to work on, and it's been quite motivating. So today I have caught up on Jane Day's weighing video. That lady's like my guru. I'm a little bit sad that I missed the questions and answer option that she offered, because I could ask that lady a million questions. I find her really insightful, honest, down to earth. She's got experience and knowledge and insight that I haven't got, and I quite enjoy following her journey along. She did mention something like, I can't help but feel like she's watched my vlog about me going for my weigh-in, my last weigh-in, and I made a comment like, oh my God, I've not been for a poo. And like in a vlog, she's then going, if like it's desperate, isn't it? You know, to think that a poo's gonna weigh enough to make you not put on as much weight, and that basically you feel like that because you're clutching at straws. And I was like, she's so right. She is so right. Like that woman, I could do with her on speed dial, just sat on my shoulder every day, telling me that I'm being ridiculous and I need to like rein it in and sort myself out. Now, I don't know if that was aimed at me, I don't know, but a lot of what she says, it hits home, and I feel like I don't know whether I'm relating it because I hear it and it hits home truths, and I need to correct them behaviours about being consistent, about making excuses, about not having a poo before I go and get weighed, as though that's going to make like a ridiculous amount of change. And I can't help but sit there and be like, that is so right. Like, I love having, I know she's not around, and I know that this is just a vlog that's out there for everybody, but I feel like that woman talks to me and keeps me like not focused, because I've been totally unfocused, but keeps me thinking about what I'm doing, keeps me reflective, and keeps me more mindful, and makes me like analyze. And I just absolutely absorb the stuff that woman says. Like, if she was a consultant, I would be all over that. I would travel for that woman. She's motivating, but in a real like down to earth way. I've got nothing but admiration for that woman, and like that, watching that vlog this morning, it's what I needed. Just so do you know, like with me feeling so rubbish about myself, but I feel so rubbish about myself because I've been naughty and I've not been very consistent, and I don't feel very in control. So then, like, I'm hating on myself more. And then watching her, like the home truths that I identify with and relate to in a bad way, make me think, yeah, I need to stop doing that. I need to like sort this out, and I need to just be refocused and consistent and okay. Now, I'm fine if like I'm losing slowly, but I do need to more consistently lose slowly and just plod on with this, and just make them little steps that I need to make my mind feel better, my body image, and the way that I feel about myself better. I would love to be in a part where socially I don't feel so self-conscious and so ugly and disgusting and awful. And at the minute, I'm probably more self-conscious than what I've ever been, because I feel like I've made way, like I've made progression, but then I've not all at the same time, because I'm still not comfortable in myself. And it's weird because some days I'm like, oh my God, I can feel my coccyx. Oh my God, I can feel this. And it's not that I don't acknowledge the changes, but I'm just not there yet. Like, where I feel really comfortable and really okay. And like, I've thought about this and looked onto it, like into it, and because I'm concentrating on my body and I'm making changes, and my body feels quite alien to me right now. So to constantly be thinking, God, this don't feel like my body, but then still not being happy with it, it highlights it maybe like more than when I was bigger and I was ignoring it. Does that even make sense? It maybe sounds quite weird and quite psychotic. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I think I babble on with what's going through my head, and it doesn't probably come out right. But I'm not trying to come across in any way. This is just the thought process and where I am, and it's Monday morning, and I'm drinking my coffee, and I'm like, right, we'll reflect on that, and we'll work on it. And I do want to feel a lot better about myself. I did see, like, on reflection in a positive way, I have seen like differences in my self-confidence, and like that's shining through with my relationship with Oliver, because I'm not letting stuff affect me. I'm not as threatened. I'm not as self-blaming. Like, what he does is up to him and it's his. Whereas before I would blame myself for not being good enough or something. Do you know, like I would come up with loads of theories, really. And that has changed, and that feels a lot better. I'm not going to lie. That feels tons better. However, I do think he's changed, and I do think that's getting better. We've had a chat. He was drinking rum, and I've mentioned it before, that like when he drinks shorts, it just doesn't work for him. It doesn't agree with him. And so we've had a chat this weekend again in a really mature manner, rather than it being an argument, and being like, look, reflect on this and your behaviour, and how like it's embarrassing, if I'm going to be honest. And I've told him it's embarrassing. And he now has like said that, yeah, he doesn't think he should be drinking shorts. If he thinks to like beer and cider and things like that, is fine. But that being said, I do think that his behaviour's changed, and my behaviours haven't changed overnight. So I think I'm being a bit more realistic now about making that change in his like relationship progressing and how that makes me feel a lot better. Yeah. Like I sometimes think when I ramble on this that I don't actually make sense. And I sound really flat and really moody, and I've actually had a really good weekend and I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling like back in control. I feel refocused. I've got plans in place. I'm drinking more water. I'm being overall a lot better. But there's always room for improvement. Like nobody's ever perfect. And I do feel like at the minute I have wobbled a little bit and I've been making excuses and I'm not being as honest with myself as what I should be. So this is what this video is. So I am being more consistent. I have got no other away trips planned. I have got my friend's birthday where she wants to go to a bottomless brunch, but that doesn't mean that I need to be ridiculous and off plan. I am feeling a little bit anxious about, I think I've been invited on like 3 nights out. That does fill me with anxiety and I don't feel like I want to go. I'm a little bit fed up of being in a room and feeling really ugly and like I'm not dressed nicely and I don't look nice and things like that. But it is something that I am trying to work on and get better at. I last time I got weighed, I'm in the 15s, and I would like over the next couple of weeks to get my 9.5 stone award. So that I've got in my head that I want to work towards, and that'd be really lovely. Especially because I've like been floating around this 16 mark for a few weeks and it feels like I've hit a bit of a standstill. Again, I quote her all the time, but honestly, I find this woman my guru. She's, in terms of YouTube, though, she's literally the one person that I'm really getting something from watching her videos. So I watch every one, and I must watch them about 3 times if I'm going to be honest, just so I really absorb what she's saying, because I don't know, it'd be stupidity not to learn from somebody else's experiences, because how do you ever learn if you don't listen to other people's mistakes and how they've overcome them? One of the things she was saying is like, it's a safe place to kind of lose weight and you kind of self-sabotage when you get to a certain weight. And that has kind of hit home with me. And I'm thinking, God, am I self-sabotaging? Am I worried about losing more weight, like without even knowing about it? And so again, that's food for thought for this week and something that I'm going to really think about and kind of try and step out of my comfort zone and make a bit more progression. And that is where I'm at. So yeah, this has ended up being quite a long ramble about my weekend. It does sound really flat and really mardy, and it genuinely isn't meant to. It's just how I'm feeling. Like I had the positives of, oh my God, I can feel my coccyx. If you've not seen it, like my video that I uploaded saying it's called Funny Bones. That was just a really surreal experience for me, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but overall I'm doing okay. I am planning my week a bit more. We've already had a discussion about having stir fry or salad tonight, with some form of protein. I've got my eggs boiled for my dinner later on when I'm at work. And today should be a pretty good day. I have got to get off because I've got to go to the wholesalers to get ready for the clients for today. It's not bad weather. It's been quite nice. So with the sunshine out, life should feel a little bit better. Oh my God, you know, on Sunday, Oliver was really hungover. So I went to the car boot on my own and I've been looking for some wicker baskets. Now, the wicker baskets that I want are really large and they're like £30-40 each. And I ended up with 1 large one, 2 medium ones, and 1 small one. So 4 wicker baskets, and I paid £12 for them. How cool is that? Like, I knew being persistent would pay off, and I've saved. I am a proper bargain hunter. I got so many clothes to show you guys, like in a haul, about what I've been buying and like the different styles and things like that. I've just got no time at the minute. I've not even edited my Morocco vlogs, but I'm just still trying to record what's happening to me day to day rather than waiting to upload the Morocco stuff, because otherwise I'm going to miss where I am and I'll not have the videos to reflect. But like I said, I'm going to shut up now. I am going to get off and go to work and have my day. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Well, you've had a fantastic weekend, and that your Monday is bright and sunny and that you're feeling really positive. So from me, think thin. Oh, and just so you know, like I got asked about the Fitbit is back on. It is not synced. It is now saying it's 2:01, but it will start now monitoring my steps. I am still exercising, but it's almost like it's become a bit norm. So that's maybe why I'm not talking about it all the time. Not that I think exercise really helps my weight loss, but it is helping me in terms of fitness and feeling a bit better. And I'm getting old, so I've got to work on that. Yeah, there I am. So think thin, and I'm going to stop bumbling on, and I will catch up with you again soon.